Hey y'all, Harry coming back at you because guess what? I am now 1 week on testosterone. So, what's been going on? Well, I'll walk you through, I guess, we'll go through like some physical and maybe some mental changes. We'll start with the physical because obviously when you start testosterone, that's like the biggest thing you want to see, physical changes. So, one of the first things like day 2 that I noticed were, well, I guess 2 things. One, I got like kind of itchy, like just all over. And as the week's gone on, it's like gotten pretty bad. Like certain like parts of my hand, but like my back and like shoulders are like itchy. So I don't know. I actually hope that doesn't mean that there's like hair growing on my back, because I don't mind body hair, but like to be the first thing that happens would kind of suck, honestly. But I'll take whatever at this point. And then also like second day, and I'm not exaggerating on this, and I've watched other videos. I'm sure you're gonna watch plenty of other videos, but it is the voice. And I don't really think it's changed a heck of a lot in terms of it's not lower. It just feels like more resonant. And that's coming from like the inner musician in me and then someone who's studied a little bit of kind of how the voice works. It just feels more resonant, and I can sing. I'm not gonna say I can sing lower, but I can sing lower more confidently, and it feels like it's emanating from my chest more. I've got a great chest voice, which is ultimately what you want, right? But it feels good, and I can make it come back up and like be kind of a little bit higher and like a little bit more, I guess, feminine and maybe a little bit more nasally. But I can also drop it down and feel a little bit more resonant in the bottom, and that feels real good. It's super exciting and also terrifying, because part of what I was thinking, and I know, we make plans, they go to shit anyway, but it's end of January, essentially February now, and I graduate beginning of May. I am done with my job beginning of May. And so that's like a solid 3 months. And I was like, I can make it through that point. I can make it through May, where I don't really have to come out at my current job, and that I don't have to really come out at school, and I can kind of just proceed with employment and see what happens from there. Because I was like, in 3 months, there's no way, like, I pass like half the time anyway in terms of a patient coming in or just on the street, but I also don't pass a majority that, it's a good 50-50. And so I can ride that ambiguity for a while. Not saying I want to, but I could. That was kind of the plan. Now I'm like, if my voice continues to drop like this, there's gonna be no hiding that. See, none. Like, I'm gonna show up at graduation and be like, who the fuck are you? And I don't know what to do, because I haven't told my family yet either. And I, like I said, I don't need their approval, but I don't want to be in that bind of like, oh, you've graduated, but you don't have a job yet, and you have no family support, like, because of this. And no, that's not a good reason, but I have to stay safe. And so, yeah, I'm a little concerned that changes may be happening sooner than I thought. And I'm also a little concerned in terms of the voice on that, because in my research, and I have a lot of vocalist friends, and like I said, I did a research on the voice itself, and kind of the things I've read is that you don't want your voice to change too quickly because you can have a diminished range. Now, granted, I'm not trying to be some opera singer or whatever, but I also don't want to completely screw up my voice and have some like kind of gross voice. Obviously, there's things you can do, but that part is a little concerning. So, I don't know, we'll see. But yeah, the voice is changing and feeling more resonant. And honestly, like, I knew, it was honestly the voice dysphoria that got me to really be like, yeah, okay, like I might be trans. And I could explore that a little bit more at some point. But I was driving home the other day, and I was just singing, and yeah, okay, whatever, call it funny. I think Disney songs sometimes can be like a good gauge because I've sang them throughout my entire life or whatever. And So I had put on a song and I was singing something and I was just like, I started crying because it just felt like so right, like so much more right than it ever had before. And I'm like excited to sing. I was never excited to sing because I hated like the going high. I was like, that's not me, that's not my voice. But my voice was built for that high range. And now not so much. And it feels so damn good. It feels so good. So I'm like super excited to see where it ends up. On the other hand, I don't want it to move too quick. Other physical changes though, so we talked a little bit about like itchiness, like things are just itching, like it's weird, it's just itching everywhere. And it's not like bad, it's not like an allergic reaction, it's just like itching, right? Breakout, like I noticed that like I have more bumps on my face than before, but not like any real like major pimples up here, but like on my chin and my neck, absolutely. Now, I used to occasionally get like, I would say maybe like one, I would usually have like a running like one or two down here. But they like all broke out all at the same time, like that same weekend, like after I started testosterone. And so that's weird, but I mean, it's not like uncomfortable or anything. But like I can feel like I know I have like some going on like here too, which that's abnormal. I don't usually get it there. But it's really dry where I am, and my skin has been really dry, so I don't know if there's been a difference in that, honestly. Other things, this is just kind of like a funny one, but the day that I came home, after I like came home, Earl, my dog, came up and he like went and the first thing he smelled was like right where my shot had been. So I was like, oh shit, he knows. And throughout the week, like he's been fine, but like he's also he hasn't tried to hump me in a very, very long time, like since he was a young lad that had his boy bits. And he has tried to hump me like multiple times this week. And so that's something that he does when he's trying to assert his dominance over usually a more alpha or a more male figure. And so it's kind of like, maybe he's noticing some changes. I don't know. A little weird. Otherwise, I guess that's really about it in terms of physical changes. I mean, it's been a week. Oh, I guess there is kind of one bigger one, muscles. And I know that seems like very, like, all of this seems outrageous. Like, none of these changes I should be noticing in a month. And maybe I'm not. But I swear to you, muscles. Like, yeah, everyone talks like they are, like, denser, but I feel like they're getting, like, bigger. But they're also getting so much stronger. So, like, in my workouts, like, I was going significantly, like, harder, easier. Like, it was like, oh, I feel great, like this is nothing. And before it would be like, oh, that was a good workout. And now I'm like, oh, like that was it. Like I'll go another like 10 minutes on the elliptical and like I'll do like another like however many exercises. And especially like I have like a pull-up bar in my house. And every time like I walk by the door, I just like try to do a pull-up. And like I've never been able to do a pull-up. I've never even like come close to it. And I was starting to get like decently strong. I've been trying to like work on my back and chest. Like I was getting like okay to where like I could like pull myself up just a little bit. Like now, like if I start halfway, I can end with my chin above the bar. I've never lifted myself up that high. That sounds really pathetic, but like that's kind of a big deal for me. And so, yeah, that feels pretty damn good. My muscles are getting there, and I don't know how like it's not like shaping or anything, but they're changing. And I can even feel like my legs, which have always been kind of muscly, like are just getting like really, really like hard and like dense, which is cool. And let me tell you what, it is super addicting. Because when I was like really debating about do I start hormones or do I not start hormones, there was a lot of things I was thinking about. And one of the things that like really crossed my mind was like, I really want that strength and I, really would like a lower voice or whatever. Like, let's say there's two major things, but I didn't think that I was worthy of it. Like, I was like, that just sounds addicting. It sounds like if I just took this, like, oh, I could just have more muscles and like, oh my God, like that just sounds too good. Like, I'm not allowed to do that. And I've since come to realize, before I started testosterone, that's just me like shutting down my thought processes and like having an excuse for it. But like now going through it, it's like, oh my God, like this is amazing. This is like everything I've wanted ever. And it's happening. And I feel like I don't deserve it. Like, you're searching for the shame, you're searching for whatever. And I don't need to have it. I just don't. But I feel like I should be. But I'm really trying to like learn and live with like it's okay to be okay. But yeah, the muscles and like everything, it's addicting. Holy shit, it is. Otherwise, physical changes, not a heck of a lot. Just that's it. That's where we're at. It's been a week. Emotional changes. So emotionally wise, once again, I was like, there's no way like this shit's gonna like take effect. Like it's not gonna do anything. And I genuinely don't think it has. To an extent, I just think that obviously me starting the process has been kind of a big deal, and so it flipped a switch in my mind. And that it switched. It was weird. So like, I got my shot on Friday, and like Friday, I think I was just riding like those emotions, right? And then Saturday and Sunday, it was strange. Like I was like hyper and like very amped up, and like also just I would wake up and like my initial instinct was to cry, and I didn't cry, but it was like, why do I feel like this? It was weird. And then come Monday, I wake up for work and it was like calm. Like my mind has never been quieter. And that is just, it's insane. It is so, it makes you realize how much mind power you were putting into the dysphoria and like the fighting of this. And I'm now like, oh shit, like one, I can be confident at some point in my life. What's that like? And two, like I could do like great things. Like things are finally clicking, and I can take that resource power that was going to like all these like negative thoughts or just annoying and noisy thoughts, and actually like do something that either, go out and like meet friends, or go out and like, maybe try to have a relationship, or go out and try to like learn or whatever, like all these things. I can start to do that now because I don't have to focus on something else that has been plaguing me for quite some time that I just didn't realize. So my mind, like I was just so calm like this week, and I felt like in such a good place. It was nuts. It's so nuts. And I even like started to feel like Thursday, I started to get like this feeling of like where I was before, of like this anxiety and this like, just, it wasn't like a depression, but kind of withdrawal or like doubt. It was doubt. And then I woke up and I took my shot, and then like today I felt like pretty amped, and I did have like moments of, I'm not gonna say brain fog, but like distraction. Like it was like almost I didn't know what to do, and that was both Thursday and Friday. But it's kind of cleared out now, and so we'll see how the weekend goes. But it's just a strange. I'm interested to see what that cycle's like, and I'm also just really curious because I'm on a small dose, and so I don't, hell if I know what like a full dose is gonna feel like. Holy shit. Or what it's gonna do. But yeah, it's been going great. I've just felt better. I felt more confident. I think feeling stronger is a nice thing. And just having like that mental quietness. Like I didn't know what I was missing out on. And so we'll see. We'll see what it has in store. But that's kind of been 1 week. No significant changes, obviously. Looking forward to week 2. We'll see. My voice, it just feels tired all the time. It feels like I have a cold, but like I don't have any other cold symptoms. And so, we'll see what ends up happening. I think it's probably just going to stay like this for a little bit, and then we'll see what happens. And I'm just hoping it doesn't drop too much too quickly, because that's just going to be hard to explain. And I'm not ashamed of this, but I also need a job, and I just don't want to have to deal with people in the South who, and that's a blanket judgment, I know, but I don't want to have to deal with coming out in the South when I'm not going to be in the South right now. So just don't. I know that. Take it how you want it. So that's my update. I'm very excited to see what happens next week, and I'll let you know. All right, you guys have a great night, and I'll catch you soon. Bye.